Welcome to my channel. This video talks about the top 10 poorest countries in Asia. Number 10. Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a country in the southern hemisphere of Asia. The People's Republic of Bangladesh is its official name. This is one of the countries where a large number of immigrants occur among its citizens, some of whom may work in Malaysia and other countries. The country has an estimated population of 163 million people and a land area of 56,980 square miles. At present, the country is one of the poorest countries in Asia. Its GDP per capita is only US $1,880. Bangladesh's high poverty rate is mainly due to the country's unfavorable political start. The fierce political beginning in Bangladesh has now led to a lack of progress in the country. Number 9. North Korea. Although North Korea may be the poorest country in Asia, its secretive leadership rarely provides data, so economists must rely heavily on expert estimates. The impoverishment of North Korea is attributed to the inability of the authoritarian regime to govern. In North Korea, there is almost no free market. At present, it is estimated that more than 60% of North Korea's population lives in poverty. Number 8. Pakistan. Although Pakistan is the 25th largest economy in the world according to Purchasing Power Parity, PPP, due to many reasons, including years of war, military insecurity, internal political disputes, high population growth rate and more imports, Pakistan's per capita GDP is still very low, except for exports, social instability, military action in Afghanistan after September 11, recurrent drought, economic sanctions, and regional and global financial crises. In Pakistan, the gap between rich and poor is wide, and most people live in poverty. Number 7. Cambodia. Cambodia is a Southeast Asian country. The country covers 69,898 square miles. The population of Shipu village is estimated to exceed 15 million. With a per capita GDP of US $1,600, the country is also one of the poorest countries in Asia. The serious shortage of education is one of the main reasons for the high poverty rate in the country. Most public schools in Cambodia lack the necessary equipment to help students succeed. This has led to a high dropout rate and unemployment in the country. Number 6. Myanmar. Myanmar is a Southeast Asian country. Myanmar is the old name of Myanmar. The country covers 265,228 square miles and has an estimated population of 54 million. About 26% of Myanmar's population lives in poverty. And rural areas account for 70% of the country's population. Poor government planning, internal turmoil, lack of foreign investment, huge trade deficit, and lack of expertise in infrastructure and utilization of the country's natural resources are the main reasons for slowing economic growth. Number 5. Nepal. Nepal's narrative is unique because it was recognized and qualified to be designated as a developing country between 2015 and 2018. But the government chose to remain on the list. This is because the government of Nepal still believes that the time has not come for the country's economy to fully realize its potential, because there are still several problems to be solved. The country's exports are still small, with a per capita GDP of only US $1,071. Despite these dangers, the government chose to be labeled as the poorest country in Asia. Number 4. Tajikistan. Tajikistan is a sovereign republic in Central Asia, officially known as the Republic of Tajikistan. According to the 2013 census, the population of the country is estimated to be about 8 million. It is also one of the poorest countries on the Asian continent. It borders Afghanistan in the south, Uzbekistan in the west, Kyrgyzstan in the north, and the People's Republic of China in the east. Today's Tajikistan was once the birthplace of many ancient cultures, including the city of Salazm in the Neolithic and Bronze Age, and a kingdom controlled by people of different religions and cultures. Various empires and dynasties ruled the region, including the Achaemenid Empire, the Sasanian dynasty, the Gotha dynasty, and the Mongolian Empire. Tajikistan was freed from the Soviet Union in 1991. After independence, a civil war broke out, lasting about 5 years. Since the end of the conflict, the country has mainly relied on foreign aid to survive. Although the country's economy is still based on aluminum and cotton production, about 30% of the population lives on less than $1.25 per day. Number 3. Timor. The country close to Indonesia is difficult to develop its economy due to many factors, including the country continuously flooded by floods, natural disasters, and the difficulty of establishing its own local industry. Even though the overall per capita GDP of this country is fairly good, the economy of this country has been unstable. And its geographical location also makes this country vulnerable. For additional consideration, the time when East Timor listed Leicester as a developing country was postponed to 2021, when it would be reassessed. Number 2. Afghanistan. Despite the influx of foreign aid and remittances from the Afghan diaspora over the previous decade, Afghanistan's GDP remains low. Insecurity, inadequate infrastructure, terrible economic practices, political uncertainty, endemic corruption, poverty, and being landlocked are all factors that contribute to the low GDP per capita, which raises the cost of doing business and diminishes competitiveness. However, there are hints that the economy of the country may expand. The collapse of the Taliban, increased exports, vast mineral riches, and growing governmental determination to address human poverty, for example, all point to a bright future for Afghanistan. Number 1. Yemen. Yemen is a country in Western Asia with a per capita GDP of $1080. The landmass of the country is 203,850 square miles. Yemen still has the highest poverty rate in the Arabian Peninsula. Over 11.7 million people are now living in abysmal poverty as a result of ongoing wars. Yemen may become the poorest country in the world by 2022, according to its current poverty level. Despite this, Yemen is plagued by terrible diseases, several outbreaks of cholera, measles, dengue fever, and other deadly diseases used to occur often. The country does not have enough food to provide for its population, resulting in widespread malnutrition. Yemen has a major problem that is preventing the country from progressing, such as a lack of clean water, which is one of the country's major challenges due to severe malnutrition. About 2 million Yemeni youngsters require immediate treatment. Yemen currently survives primarily on international donations from organizations such as UNICEF and the United Nations.